Hello, everyone. My name is Renee Laschiazza. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the Director of Programs here at the Great American Songbook Foundation and the Songbook Academy. Thank you so much for joining us today for this info session for prospective students, parents, and music educators interested in learning more about the Songbook Academy and our 2024 application season. At the Songbook Academy, we believe that every young singer has a unique story to tell through music, and we really encourage any of you or young artists you may know who are currently enrolled in high school to apply by March 24th for a chance to join our Songbook family this summer. Today, you'll get the chance to meet a few amazing members of our Songbook family, including faculty and past alums, who you'll meet in just a bit. But first, I'm going to turn it over to our content and engagement specialist, Chelsea Ranowski, who will share a few housekeeping notes.
Hi, thanks, Renee. As Renee mentioned, my name is Chelsea. I use she or they pronouns. Super excited to be here with you today. Just know I might be having a little bit of technical issues, so bear with me. Before we begin, please make sure to use the Q.
I think we're kind of having those technical difficulties Chelsea was talking about, so I'll cover the housekeeping notes this afternoon.
Be right back.
Please make sure to use the Q&A feature if you'd like to ask a question during this session. We'll try to get through as many questions as we can with the time we have today. But if for some reason we don't address your questions, don't hesitate to email us at songbookacademy@thesongbook.org. If you are asking a question and want to protect your identity, since we are recording this session and will be posting on our channels, feel free to just submit a question with your first name only. And finally, I'd just like to say that you'll hear us refer to our Songbook family quite a bit this evening, as we are committed to supporting our young artists and providing a lifelong community for the students, faculty, and mentors associated with this program. Chelsea and I, as well as our guest panel, are here tonight for any questions that you might have about the program, because we are truly excited that you're interested in joining this family. So don't be afraid to ask any questions that come to mind, because I can guarantee someone is out there probably wondering the same thing. So before we introduce our panel tonight, we're going to take a few minutes just to cover what we think you need to know about the Songbook Academy, especially if you're brand new to us. The Songbook Academy is designed for high school students with a passion for singing, who want to hone their vocal and performance skills with an emphasis on interpretation. In other words, storytelling. So through access to our top-tier mentors and a focus on the foundations of American popular music, we provide a safe space for young singers to explore musical styles, grow in their individual artistry, and take risks in a supportive, pre-professional environment. So if you're wondering what you can expect if you participate in this program, the program is an 8-day experience that takes place each July at our headquarters here in Carmel, Indiana, which, fun fact, is a world-class performance campus regularly hosting artists from John Legend to the late Chita Rivera. Each summer, we select 40 talented applicants from our online application process to join us for an intense but really fulfilling week of masterclasses, workshops, and personalized coaching on everything from vocal technique to vocal health, song interpretation, stage presence, mic technique, and really any topic that not only fosters the technical skills you need as a singer, but will also allow you to build your confidence and meet other like-minded musicians and begin to explore who you want to be as an individual artist. Not only that, but you get to add some really cool performance experiences to your resume, as the week offers every student individual showcase opportunities, as well as the opportunity to perform alongside your peers in the amazing medleys and production numbers developed throughout the week. I think we're getting ready to bring Chelsea back in here with her technical difficulties, but before she comes back in, I do want to talk about what really sets the Songbook Academy apart. Our focus here at the Songbook Academy is teaching all of the performance skills and the techniques I just mentioned, but through a foundation in the music of the Great American Songbook. If you're unfamiliar with the songbook, it's not literally a book, but a term that describes a collection of enduring and influential songs that serve as the foundation of modern popular music. You may hear people refer to these songs as standards, and though songs continue to be added to this category as they last 50, 60, 70 plus years, We focus here at the Songbook Academy on the songs written between the 1920s and the 1960s that range from jazz standards to classic tunes from Broadway and Hollywood. This is a real opportunity to explore music by some of the greatest songwriters of all time, like George Gershwin and Ira Gershwin, Duke Ellington, Rodgers and Hammerstein. And all of these songs were made popular by legendary artists like Ella Fitzgerald, Frank Sinatra, and Judy Garland. I could go on with this list, but we'd be here all night if I did. So, understanding these roots is a vital building block for any aspiring young singer, no matter what musical path or genre you choose to pursue. These songs also survive because they can be reinterpreted in any conceivable way, and they're the best playground to begin to explore who you are as an artist and the story you want to tell. So now, hopefully, I'm going to pass the mic to Chelsea to tell you a bit more about what the week looks like and our top-notch faculty and mentors who you'll get the chance to work with.
Thanks, Renee, and thanks everybody for, luckily we're not in the pandemic times anymore, but here we are, working through it, ad-libbing. But like Renee mentioned, Songbook Academy is a bit intense, but it's a very fulfilling week. As with any performance intensive, we make use of every moment to squeeze in educational opportunities with the incredible mentors who join us throughout the week, rehearse for the week's performances, and have fun along the way, of course. As far as a typical day goes, you can expect the day to start around 8 a.m., go till about 8 or 9 p.m. with activities like group rehearsals, individual coaching time, vocal technique sessions, master classes with guest mentors, special workshops taught by our faculty, medley and solo rehearsals, workshops with our founder, 5-time Grammy nominee Michael Feinstein, and more. And of course, the day includes meals, social opportunities at the dorms at Butler University where you'll stay, and even fun activities like Minter Performance Night, where the tables will be turned and you get a chance to hear the faculty perform. It's usually a big fun night that the students look forward to every year. Every student gets a chance to work with the incredible guest mentors we bring throughout the week, who come from all corners of the music industry, and they've included Tony winners, Emmy winners, Grammy Award winners from Broadway to the recording studio. We've had guests like Broadway and Emily in Paris star Ashley Park, Postmodern Jukebox's Scott Bradley and Aubrey Logan, the Emmy Award-winning voice of Anastasia, Liz Calloway, who had last year. We also had Ali Stroker last year, Grammy Award-winning vocalists like Catherine Russell and Melissa Manchester, and members of stage and screen like Andrea Burns. And there are so many others. And students always walk away with noting that above anything, the value of working with these mentors is immeasurable. But at the heart and soul of what this program is really lies within our program faculty, which consists of 5 vocal coaches and 5 music directors, 2 of whom you'll meet tonight, and they personally guide each of the students throughout their week at Songbook Academy. When you come to Songbook Academy, you'll be assigned to 1 vocal coach and 1 music director, and you're going to work alongside them and 7 of your peers. And in this intermittent coaching session, you'll develop your musical arrangements for the week, receive daily vocal and performance guidance, and bond as a team. Our vocal coaches bring with them experience on stages from Lincoln Center to Broadway, and many of them are staff at prestigious colleges like the University of Michigan, NYU, and the Boston Conservatory at Berkeley. Our music directors have worked with artists like Frank Sinatra and Kristen Chenoweth. They've served as conductors and music directors for Broadway and national tours, and have written orchestrations for concert and television series with some of the country's leading symphony orchestras. Y'all, the chance to work with these people is incredible, and you really get that personal capacity as a high school student, and it's really unheard of and undoubtedly a highlight of the week for the students. So with that in mind, I think it's time to introduce our panel for the evening. These are the folks you're really here to meet. They're a blast to work with, and you're going to love them, and they represent the very best of our Songbook family. So
Yay.
let's bring in one of our vocal coaches, Mary Michael Patterson, and our music director, Mel Shore, and two of the students from their team last year, alums from 2 and 3 years respectively of the Songbook Academy, Seth Jacobson and Madeline Burnett Caballero. They're here to give you the inside scoop on Songbook Academy and the experiences that they had. Let's just start by giving them a chance to introduce themselves. Mary Michael, can we start with you?
Sure. Hi, my name is Mary Michael Patterson, and I am a vocal coach. This coming summer will be my third year with the Songbook Academy. And I am a full-time educator now and theater director. I had a 15-year career on Broadway and at Lincoln Center and touring around the country. So I've performed at lots of those spaces that Chelsea mentioned. And now I focus more on the education side of things because that's where my passion really lies. Yeah, and I'm so excited to be back.
Hi, I'm Mel Shore. I'm one of the music directors at Songbook Academy, and I think this year will be my 8th. So it's been a minute. And I'm a piano player and a music director, composer, arranger. Have done Broadway tours, have worked on jazz albums with different artists, lots of different styles, and Songbook is one of the most exciting things that I get to do. Amazing students. I love working with everybody. Everyone's so talented and works so hard. So I'm happy to be here and help answer any questions.
Seth, can we go to you?
Yeah, totally. So, my name is Seth Jacobson. I'm a 2-year alum of the Songbook Academy. I'm from Carmel, Indiana, and now I study at Indiana University with a BFA in musical theater.
Awesome. And
Hi, my name is Madeline Burnett Caballero. I'm a 3-time alum from the Songbook Academy, and I'm currently here at the University of Miami with a BFA in musical theater and a minor in public relations.
very cool. I didn't know the minor in public relations, Madeline.
I just recently added it last semester.
Very cool. Well, thanks everyone. So first off, Chelsea just kind of introduced the format of the week and each student's pairing with a vocal coach and a music director. But I'm wondering if Mel and Mary Michael can each share just a little bit more about your roles in this program, maybe what students can expect from their work with you, each individually and also just as a team. So either one can start.
Mary Michael, go for it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so over the course of the week, we will dive into one main song, right, which is the song that we really are going to focus on over the course of the week. And that's something that we'll pick together if you're accepted into the program and end up coming before you get to town, so you have plenty of time to learn it and work on it. And then when we get to town, we're really focusing at the beginning of the week on making sure that we like the key, that we like the arrangement. And that's, going to be a big part of the first few days, is just making sure that we think that the song serves you in the best way that it can. So once we get that, going and we feel good about it, then we can start really working on the fun stuff, in my opinion, which is the reason I love Songbook. All of the interpretive decisions, right? So I love that Renee mentioned this earlier, but some of the best performances that we think of when we think of Songbook, Great American Songbook, are from legends like Judy Garland and Liza Minnelli, and these people who are really spectacular storytellers. And I think that oftentimes in summer performance camps, that sometimes gets, unfortunately, put to the side, right? Because we're thinking about like just learning a ton of material and learning choreography and notes and rhythms. And while all of that information is great, at the end of the day, what makes a wonderful performance is the point of view and the nuance and the specificity. And I think that's my favorite part, is that we get a whole week to work on one song primarily, which I think is also rare in terms of summer intensives that I've worked at in the past, because we really get to dive deep. There are so many layers, and we can explore what feels like it works for you the best. And we can also, there's a lot of trial and error, which I think is something that is wonderful to learn at a young age, that when you're an artist, you're always in collaboration with other people, at least in a performing artist scenario. And to learn how to collaborate and how to feel like you can take notes from so many different kinds of people and say, well, that really works for me, so I'm going to hang on to that. Or I don't know if that works so well for me, I'm going to let that one go, and we'll go through that process, which I think is really valuable to learn over the course of the week.
Yeah, and I really especially like what Mary Michael just said about taking what different mentors or other vocal coaches might say to you as students, because that's a big part of you finding your artistry. And it's something that you all may know if you have studied voice acting, from a young age, and now you're getting into that high school age and then ultimately, going to go off to college. That's when you're facing this shift of, okay, I've been learning like kind of the rules of this, and now do I stick with those rules or do I get a choice? And so this is a really good experience to start learning how to have choice. That's not just, well, my teacher told me to do that, or so and so music directed for this and they said I have to do this. So like, okay, I guess I have to. So it's a really good event and week of things like that, where you have a lot of information that can be overwhelming, but then at the end of the day, we help you try to choose what's best for you. And on the role that I play as music director is, like Mary Michael said, we work on the arrangement, the key, and we do that in tandem. And once you're in the week, you kind of notice we are in those roles, and then it shifts to then, okay, we're working on the song now, and then maybe if Mary Michael is going to be working more on some vocal technique things, then I kind of sit back a little bit and am like an accompanist, and then I'll pipe in here and there. But it's like you'll get to see how the professionals that are part of the program are collaborating with you as well. And so that's something that's really interesting and is a good predecessor for what's to come for your future careers. And the week is just so great as well with content, lyric content. How are some different ways that you can act with the song? How do you work with a music director on this certain line, like this line that makes so much, has so much emotional capacity for it? Are we skipping over it? Is there something that you can tell is missing, but you're not quite sure what it is, that maybe the music director can add into the arrangement? So things like that, and that's how the collaboration works. And so that's I would say kind of how our two roles work together. And yeah, it's a really great week.
Awesome. So Mel and Mary Michael are both incredible in their respective fields, but they also bring a lot of fun to the table. I think they're a really fun team. And so on that note, from your experiences in the industry, why do you think an environment that's not only fun, but also just a safe space like the Songbook Academy is so important for young artists to experience at this stage in their development? I know you both answered that a bit in your first response, but can you speak to the environment of the Songbook Academy?
I think when you feel supported and safe and seen and heard and valued, you're able to make the most interesting choices as an artist. Like, I think if you're constantly scared that you're making a mistake or that someone's going to be angry with you, you couldn't possibly feel creatively inspired to do your best work. And so I think it's so important to make sure that the students know that, like, we learn from them. I mean, oh my gosh, so many times over the past 2 summers, I've just been amazed by the things that I thought, wow, I'd never considered that before, like now I can take that into my own work. So I think I think just knowing that we want you to succeed, and we want the best for the students. So we want to be supportive and have a good time, because if at the end of the day, that's what all of this is, right? It's to share that joy and that love of music. It doesn't have to be so serious.
I agree. And it's true. We do have a lot of fun. And I also agree, again, with what Mary Michael said as far as a supportive environment. I know that a lot of us have come from backgrounds where maybe we were learning how to do our craft in an environment where there was fear or we were terrified of making a mistake. And that made us maybe not making mistakes, but along the way, you have to eventually learn how to grow. And so sometimes you're not able to grow if you are so fearful. So injecting fun into the experience is part of it. And it should be about joy, like Mary Michael said. It should be about communicating with the audience, you connecting with your song, because if you don't connect, you won't connect with the audience. And the whole point of all of this is to make great music, connect with people, tell stories, and make the world a better place. So we always encourage a little bit of fun. And maybe some of you who have had a more heavier acting background than singing background are used to trying out different scenarios more so than in voice lessons. So you'll find a variety of students have different backgrounds with those things, and sometimes the students that have acting in their background are more used to taking a scenario and kind of being more fluid with it, or having fun with it, or making it an acting exercise more so than in a traditional voice lesson sense. So this kind of meshes those two together, and again, as mentors, it's our job to make sure that you feel safe, supported, and that you're able to try out all these different options.
Cool. Chelsea, I think I'm turning it over to you.
All right, and we're gonna bring Seth and Madeline back in. Thank you, Mary, Michael, and Mel. Okay, so now we get the student perspective. So we heard from our mentors. Um, okay, Seth and Madeline, I'd love to get both of your perspectives on how the Songbook Academy has impacted you both as artists. And whoever would like to go first, go for it.
Fight for it.
I'll go first, I
Go ahead,
guess.
Seth.
Okay.
I mean, the songbook is an incredible experience for anyone that could do it. I don't think anyone has ever like received a bad impact from the songbook. It's such a welcoming experience where everyone is just so engaged in you as an artist. And me personally, I've taken so much wisdom and experience and little resources that I can use in my art now, to just further my performance. It's a great opportunity for anyone that can do it. Yeah.
I'd say like the three things that pop into my mind when I think of songbook are the community, song interpretation, and developing a deeper sense of artistry. I think that the training and professional artistic education that I received there was unparalleled to any other experience I've had. And being coached by, Chelsea mentioned, like Michael Feinstein, Nicole Henry, and Ali Stroker, like among others, made me grow as an artist, but also as a person, and helped tremendously with versatility. I really went into this with a heavy, like vocal first type of mentality, and I think I left with the storytelling aspect that I really, really needed, and being able to connect with the audience and to tell a story. I mean, these things really transported into my time here at Miami.
Thank you both. Yeah, and Seth, I loved that you talked about. Well, you both like touched on community a little bit, but Seth, we were talking at the top here that you actually go to school with another alumni, so it's really cool to have that cross generate or that cross promotion, I guess, throughout your life. You never know who you're going to run into again, and
Yeah.
who's going to open a door for you. So it's all about community. And Madeline, I loved what you said about your experience as a three-time alum and working with all these wonderful mentors and taking those three aspects that you mentioned into your artistry today at U of Miami. So both of you were actually on Mel and Mary Michael's team last year, and you had a chance to work with them and six other students. What was it like for you in terms of learning together and bonding as a group? Can you talk a little bit about that, what that looks like in the week?
I think that one of my favorite times was team time. I really, really loved it. Um, Mary Michael and Melly, they just made it really fun. We kind of always started off with like a little icebreaker. You know, sometimes we had like a little dance kind of party thing, like a little, I don't know, something to really bond us. I feel like after the first day, we all became extremely close. And I can't really pinpoint exactly why that is. I just feel like being in an environment where there's no judgment, and everyone is so open to exploring new things, really, really helped with the bonding moment.
Yeah, I remember when I first joined Songbook, I saw the list of all the like faculty and artists that I was going to be working with. I was like, whoa, I'm like intimidated by all of these people. But the first day I met all of them, and they just seemed so welcoming and excited to teach us. And it really stayed with the group, you know, like it felt comfortable making mistakes and trying out new risks with your song. And I absolutely loved Mel and Mary Michael. They made it so fun to just try out these little fun ideas they had. And I mean, they're both geniuses in their fields. So, yeah, I took away a lot of good wisdom from them.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Seth and Madeline. I think those are awesome insights into what it's like as a student at the Songbook Academy. We're going to have some questions from people tuning in here in a bit, but just I would love to bring Mel and Mary Michael back magically to the screen here if possible. And just ask a few questions for all of you. And these can be, fun answers or deep answers, whatever you prefer. But I would love to hear from each one of you your favorite part of Songbook Academy Week. You've kind of answered that, but like if you can think of one moment that was just your favorite experience last summer, I'd love to hear from someone. Go.
I'll start. Oh, sorry.
Go, Mary Michael. Go, Mary Michael.
I was gonna say, I participated in this the last 2 years, but Catherine Walker, who's another one of the vocal coaches and just an amazing teacher. She was actually a professor of mine at the University of Michigan many, many, many years ago. But she has this vocal health workshop that she teaches, and I feel like every time I sit in, I'm amazed by what I learn, and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much more to learn, and the voice is so fascinating and intricate, and there's so much going on, and vocal health is so fascinating, and I love that I can sit in on workshops and learn a ton when I'm there, and that just makes me really geek out.
One of my favorite moments from last year was having Liz Calloway as a guest. And for those of you who do not know who that is, singing voice and I think speaking voice of Anastasia, go Google her and like look at her list, and she's just iconic. And she's probably one of the most famous people that you don't know that you actually know. And so having somebody who has been in the industry that long and has had such iconic roles and is also part of the soundtrack of your childhood and adolescence, it was so amazing. So that's something that kind of feeds the mentor souls as well as the students, and it's really fun to see how it affects everybody differently for different reasons. So that was my moment.
Cool. Seth, Madeline?
I also really loved the workshop that Mary Michael talked about. I think that I did that workshop 3 times, and still each time I did it and I sat on it, there was something that I just perhaps didn't remember, or it was just like another click that happened. So always always something to learn with that. Also, I really loved the first time that we all sang together in the Palladium. That's the sweetest, like the first time we did like the run through of the songs. Like, oh, that's just like an incredible experience. It's so amazing singing in that Palladium with a bunch of people that you absolutely adore and that you love.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up just performing at the Palladium and making the Palladium your home for an entire week is such a crazy experience I've gotten to experience. And I get to perform on the stage with this like sold out audience, and it's just surreal. And another favorite part of mine of the week is when all the faculty actually perform for us. It's so much fun because they're teaching you, and you forget that they are artists themselves, and crazy talented artists at that. And just seeing them all perform their heart out is just such a fun bonding experience for all of us. Yeah.
I'm going
Totally.
to jump in here too and talk about my favorite thing that
Go
happens in the week as a staff member. I mean, first of all, seeing alumni like Madeline and Seth come back year after year, it's really cool to follow their progress and see how much they grow with the songs they choose. Y'all just keep coming back with such interesting selections, which is really cool. Um, but we just added this new component of team medleys and they're themed, and it's really fun to see. Y'all did a Cole Porter theme. So it was really fun to watch everybody learn a new song, like a part of a new song, and then stage it. And really bond as a group in that way too, because you're literally making a mini collaboration together. So I really love watching that process of everybody putting their team medleys together.
Yeah, that's such a fun experience that we've added in the last couple of years. And I think a lot of students have walked away saying their favorite part of the week was rehearsing that and kind of coming up with that team medley. Um, if I was going to answer this question, I didn't think about answering this, Chelsea, but I'm going to as well. I think my favorite part of the week is sitting in master classes with students who have been, to Mary Michael's point, we work on this one song all week. And you think, how can I spend an entire week on one song? But after a student has been working so hard on one particular tune, I love the moment where it's like they have the breakthrough, right? It's like they let go of the technique, they let go of the fear and the overthinking, and they finally find the thing that connects them to the story. And I think every student has that point in the week where it's like a light bulb moment. You can't expect that it's coming, it just happens. And I think that's really magical to watch when you really lock into everything working at once, the technique, but then also kind of the heart and soul and the music and what it's all about. So those are my favorite moments to see students have their breakthrough moment, whatever it is, in whatever masterclass it is. So my last question for the group here before we kind of move on to the application process is, for students who are on the fence maybe about applying to this program, what would you say to them? Why should they, any young singer, no matter if they're a musical theater student, a jazz student, somewhere in between, why should they consider applying to this program this summer? Anybody, any takers? Madeline?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I a lot has been said about the Songbook family, and that may sound cliche, but it's 100% real. And the community is the reason why I came back 3 times. And it's the training is amazing. The mentors that you meet and the things that you learn there are incredible. But the community is really, really so strong and so beautiful. I know that last summer I had an allergic reaction. The first, like, I don't know if you remember Renee, but Renee was the one who actually took me to and from the hospital that day, and she like took me from the place we were staying to the hospital and then to the Palladium, like things
And we
like
got
that.
Einsteins. We got Einsteins along the way. It was
Yes,
fun.
yes, we got bagels. Like, I mean, you truly make lifelong friends and connections here. I'm still in touch with a lot of my songbook friends, if not most of them. We still have a group chat that's still alive and well on Snapchat, and I really think that it's the perfect place to really learn how to make your own decisions and learn how to find your voice and find yourself as an artist. And that might sound cliche, but it's 100% true. And I, if I were still in high school, I would go back a million times over.
Yeah, I'd like to second that one. Man, the community at Songbook is just something else. I can't even explain it. It's just all of the kids I'm working with are just so nice and welcoming, and I've made some lifelong friendships from Songbook. And I mean, that was the real reason I came back. I mean, there's the training and there's the opportunities you're given and the people you get to meet. but the kids there are just such a blast, and you get to live with them with a week, which just really bonds you guys together in a way that no other intensive training really does. Yeah.
Awesome said. Mel?
I think from my perspective, it's so fun to watch everybody grow in such a short amount of time. And I know, again, that could sound cliche, but it's so true. And these are the types of experiences that you do not get any other place. I mean, not only do you have the faculty that you have, but you are on site of archives of the Great American Songbook. You have George Gershwin handwritten manuscripts. You have Frank Sinatra big band arrangements, and those are things that kind of sound like, okay, well that's kind of cool, but what? You see the original sheet music from a song that you are going to be singing, and where else are you going to find that? And that's really pretty unbelievable because you're going to be around that stuff as well. And Michael Feinstein is there, who is the curator and preservationist of all of these things. And so that's such a it's a really interesting experience that's so wonderful and beneficial because you will also have his input, and he knew a lot of the people that composed these songs, the reasons why a lyric is what it is, the reason why this certain lyric is very important, and why you should maybe not change the word like Frank Sinatra changed the word because, of the original composer. So that's one element that's really, really exceptional, and you can't find that anywhere else.
Agreed.
I think also the emphasis that's placed on learning the process of building something and really thinking about the development of a piece rather than let's just get the product of this piece up and perform it. I mean, the performance is a wonderful part of the week, but I don't think it's ever the most important part for anyone, which I think is refreshing, because that's not always the case when you're going to summer intensive. Sometimes it's a little bit too much like, let's have this amazing performance, but at whatever cost. And maybe the week is like insane and everyone's exhausted and burnt out. And, it doesn't feel like that at Songbook. It feels a little bit more like we're here to learn how to work on something and help you develop your own creative process that you can then take to whatever you're doing later in life. Rather than we're just here to sing this one song.
Totally agreed. And I think a special part about Songbook Academy is every student is different, right? Everybody has their own musical interests, their own musical styles. And so what's great about this program is that we meet you where you're at, right? We're not trying to get everyone to the same spot. No one's the same. We're trying to say, hey, you are here. This is what you need to grow and develop. This is what you're working for individually for the week. And we're going to focus on that. We're not going to compare you to other people because you're each, special and have a story to tell within yourself. So I think that's a special part of the program as well. So speaking of applying to the Songbook Academy, we are currently just over a month away from our application deadline for this summer's program. So if you are considering applying, we encourage you to visit our website, thesongbook.org/Songbook Academy, to explore all of the resources that we have posted and offer for that application process. Just briefly, the application requires students to submit 2 contrasting songbook songs, ideally a ballad and an uptempo, through an online application platform called Get Accepted. You'll answer just a few basic questions, upload your videos, a headshot, and really just click submit and you're good to go. There is a $50 application fee, but we offer fee waivers and financial assistance for both, again, the program fee and the application fees for anyone who needs it. So please reach out to us via email at songbookacademy@thesongbook.org for more info on that, because we do not want cost to be a barrier for anyone who wishes to apply to this program. The great part about our application process is, regardless of acceptance status, every single applicant receives professional feedback from our national panel of screeners who review each application. This is I think one of the best parts of applying to Songbook Academy. The feedback is so just invaluable, whether you participate in the program this summer or reapply again in the future. It's just a great feedback to go off of. Take it back to your individual vocal lessons, and you can continue developing with the great feedback that you receive from this process.
Right. So, and then also, how do you, what are the videos that you're supposed to send in? So, we ask that you submit full songs to give our screeners more of a comprehensive understanding of where you are on your development and your storytelling ability, which is, as you've probably seen, a through line, a very big part of this program. You can use live or recorded accompaniment. If you don't have access to accompaniment, we'll accept a cappella recordings, but certainly would strongly recommend singing with accompaniment if at all possible. Similarly, we just ask that you apply with songs that would be considered part of the Great American Songbook. So those are songs written between 1920 and 1969, as this is the music that you're going to be singing if you're selected in the program. That said, if you are new to this music and you don't have access to resources to help you learn any of the appropriate songs, you're not going to be negatively impacted by the adjudication process if you submit a song that doesn't meet those guidelines. But if you're looking for repertoire inspiration, we do encourage you to visit our website to learn more about the Great American Songbook and access helpful playlists and song suggestions that might help you identify the songs you'd like to sing. And for those of you who are out there feeling like you shouldn't apply to this program because you don't have a lot of experience with the songs from this period, don't let this stop you. For about 50% of our students last year, the Songbook Academy was actually their first true experience with the music of the Great American Songbook. This program builds an incredible foundation for you as a young singer, whether you've been listening or singing these songs forever, or whether you're approaching this music for the very first time.
I think that's a great point, Chelsea. The last thing I'd like to say on that is that the screeners aren't looking for you to belt the loudest. They're not looking for you to sing the highest note. They're looking for you, as Chelsea mentioned, with the through line of storytelling. They're really looking for you to tell a story through the song you're singing. So take some time to really dig into the lyrics, understand what they mean, especially for you individually. And instead of just singing the notes on the page, just make sure to think about the story that you're telling. This is what you'll focus on during Songbook Academy week, and this is definitely what our screeners will want to see. It's also not about the highest quality just video in the world. Your cell phone or a recording on your laptop will work perfectly fine. The most important thing to make sure is that we can hear you over the accompaniment and we can see your face and your upper body clearly, as you'll use some kind of physical expression in your piece. Please don't edit your voice in any way. You're more than welcome to use a microphone, but it's not necessary and completely up to you. We just really want to urge you to consider that cell phone videos are just fine. That's not going to be the reason. That's not going to be the make or break for getting into this program. Now, for Seth and Madeline, who have both actually been through this application process, if we can bring the full group back up here, are there any tips, Seth and Madeline, that you would share as students are preparing their audition videos and going through that process? If you can think way back when to when you applied.
I'd say really choose a song that resonates with you. Really, again, I think that Renee and Chelsea really spoke on this, but don't try to belt the loudest. Like it's completely okay. I'm not a belter. Just really think about the interpretation of it, the interpretation of the song, what you're saying, what you're trying to communicate, and I think that it that all just comes through naturally when you just choose a song that you love to sing. Like just choose a song that makes you happy, and I think that you yourself and your inner artist will shine through just with that.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, as Renee mentioned, it's really about the storytelling of the song. It's not about how loud you can sing or how high or low at all. I mean, a lot of these songs, it's really just about the words in the song and really just loosening up. So, yeah, pick a song that resonates with you, a song that you can really connect to. because I mean I'm kind of speaking for the screeners here, but I think they just want to see you as a person. Yeah.
That's a great way to say it, Seth. For Mel and Mary Michael, who are not necessarily our screeners, granted you have been in the professional industry, you've seen lots of auditions. Any general audition tips or advice from your perspective that you could share with people who are considering applying?
I would say what Madeline said is spot on. Find something that you resonate with, and you don't have to belt the most or sing the highest note. Just something that kind of shows everybody authentically what you connect with and where your voice fits.
And I think give yourself plenty of time to prepare because preparation is what allows us to feel creative, right? If we're still thinking about like what are the notes, what are the words, it's hard for us to even get to the interpretive phase. So maybe choose something that you already know somewhat, so that you feel like you can dive deep into it and you're not frantically learning something new, because I think that can be stressful sometimes.
Yeah, thank you all so much. So basically, pick something you resonate with and prepare, prepare, prepare. Um, and that really does stand out. People can tell if your eyes are sparkling because you truly care about what you're saying. And that stands out more than, as everybody was saying, the big belty stuff. That's great, if that's your bread and butter, but do something that's authentic to you. Now, this seems like a perfect time for us to open it up to questions from the audience. We've got some questions that people have sent in ahead of time, which is awesome. But I'll start with a few questions we've received throughout the session today. And for those of you who do have questions, now's the time to submit them in the Q&A, though I feel like we covered a lot, so we'll see how many questions come through. So this is a question from Grant. Thank you, Grant. Grant asks, how is travel managed? Do you meet us at the airport or do you take us to the airport at the end? How do we get to your location from the airport? Renee, will you take
That's
this
an
one?
important point. Yeah, great question, Grant. We help you with all of that. So you will go through a registration process if you're accepted to the program, and we will get all of your flight details. If you are flying into Indianapolis or if you're driving in with your family, we'll get you, kind of the address information, where you'll stay at Butler University, which is located just 25 minutes away from our campus. But we will meet you. Our staff will have a presence at the airport on the arrival day for the programs. There's no way you can miss us. We're all in our Songbook Academy t-shirts, and we kind of have a whole team out there to welcome you. We'll greet you when you walk out of the terminal and get you on a shuttle to the dorms. So there's nothing to worry about there. You'll have a ride to the airport, and you will also, if your family's coming into town for the performance on the last day, many of our kids leave with their families after that performance day, but we will also help you get back to the airport if you are on your own and need transportation back to the airport. So all of that will be handled. Great question, though. It looks like we have another question about the application videos. For our application videos, should we slate or shouldn't we? And how long should our songs be? Chelsea, you want me to keep answering, or Chelsea,
Go
you want
for it.
to?
Yep.
Okay. Slating, that's a great question. Honestly, it's up to you. We encourage you to do anything that you feel most comfortable with. So if you are going to feel most prepared to sing your song, if you introduce yourself in the song you're singing and then kick into the song, great. If you just want to record the song without any sort of introduction, completely fine. That won't be anything that our screeners will, count for or against you in the adjudication process. And then as far as how long should the songs be, that varies on the length of the song. Every song is typically a different length, but like Chelsea said, or maybe I said it, I don't know, we suggest that you sing the full song. So a lot of these songs historically have a verse. And so we encourage you to explore that verse. The lyric in the verse really sets up the story you're telling. So if you can find the original sheet music that includes that verse, we encourage you to do so. And again, sing that full song because it'll give the full arc of the story and also give us a better picture of you and where you're at right now.
Yeah, thank you, Renee. This next one actually reminds me of Madeline. I'm pretty sure you asked something very similar in one of the years that you applied. Madeline always chooses songs that have different languages in them. So this person asks, I love the song The Girl from Ipanema. And I was wondering if it is considered a songbook song, given it was written by a songwriter from Brazil. Mel, do you want to take this one? I'm going to put you on the spot.
I mean, last year Madeline did Besame Mucho.
Yeah.
So,
The first year I did Desafinado, which is Tom theme as well.
Yeah. So Jobim, yes. Interesting, beautiful bossa nova songbook. And what Jobim did was pair American style with Brazilian style. So in my experience, we have done those songs. So sounds good to me.
Yeah, and they've been interpreted by so many American artists now that they are definitely within the soundscape of American music. So we definitely take, even Beyond the Sea, which is a French song, which not a lot of people know. So we definitely welcome any and all diversity within whatever speaks to you, as long as it's within, again, that time range of 1922, about 1969.
Chelsea, it looks like we have a question on Facebook from Rich. Thank you, Rich. Is there an age limitation or restriction? This program is for students who are currently enrolled in high school. So that's everything from the summer after your first year in high school to you can be a senior who has just graduated. You can participate that summer after you've graduated as a senior. So really no age limitation per se, but we have the program is very specifically for active high school students. So I just would clarify there, we get a lot of questions about eighth graders who are rising freshmen, not necessarily for eighth graders at that point in time, but they could apply the summer after their freshman year in high school. So great question from Rich. Any other questions, Chelsea? You want to?
I think the last question I think we can take with the time that we have is what are, we talked a little bit about the financial aid, but what are the opportunities for students if they want to do the program but aren't really sure if they have the means to do it at this time?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of financial aid opportunities for students. So first of all, if you qualify for free or reduced lunch or an ACT or an SAT fee waiver or the SNAP program, we have a great process if you already qualify for those programs. So there's a whole page on our website that is all about scholarship opportunities, all about financial aid waivers and resources. So I encourage you to visit that page. You'll find it at thesongbook.org/songbook academy. And it'll walk you through that process if you qualify for any of those programs to get a fee, an application fee waiver or a program fee waiver. And again, the application fee is $50. The program fee is $1,000 for this year's program. I would also like to note that we have financial aid opportunities for other students as well. So we welcome you. If you don't qualify for any of those programs, but cost is a barrier for you, we ask that you submit a letter from a guidance counselor, a teacher, or a parent kind of describing your situation and your need, and our team will work to find any opportunities that are possible to support you financially. We do not want cost to be a barrier. So we ask that you reach out via email and make sure to do that before you apply, because we want to make sure that you also get the application fee waiver. So some students will qualify for these programs, but they'll still pay the $50 to apply. we have things on the front end to help you not have to pay those fees as well. So definitely reach out to us via email before you apply. Give us like 24 to 48 hours to respond and kind of review your situation, and we'll get you the info you need on that. So all of that info is pretty well documented on the website, or you can reach out to us via email and we'll get you some instruction on how to apply. Cool. Well, I think those were all awesome questions. I know there's probably a lot of other questions that we can answer, but that's all we have time for today. And we will, if you do have things that have popped up from this discussion that you're wondering about, like I said, you can always reach out to us via email or message us through the Get Accepted platform. Before we close, I just want to are there any final closing thoughts from our panelists today that you'd like to leave us with? It's okay if not, but is there anything else you'd like to share with prospective students who are getting ready to apply for this year's program?
You should apply. I had a great experience, and I know you will.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, apply. Just do it. It's amazing.
Cool. Well, thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. We, as Seth and Madeline both said, hope you will apply by March 24th to join us this summer. And if you are not a student, if you're a music educator, if you're a parent, if you're just someone who knows talented high school singers, we hope you will help us spread the word to high school students who would benefit from this program. We rely on word of mouth to recommend this program. And as you can hear from all of our great panelists today, it is really worth it to apply and such a benefit for high school students at this stage in their development. So if you have any questions, make sure to reach out to us. Follow us on our social media platforms at Songbook Academy. And with that, I just hope everyone has a wonderful evening. Thank you, everyone.